Hey guys, welcome to today's video, another sunscreen Saturday, and today I am bringing to you the Biossance Squalane. This is an SPF 30 and it is mineral. It's zinc oxide only, which is kind of a problem for me. And there's glycerin in here, there's squalane that is derived from sugar cane, and that's about it. It's pretty simple. I have tried it once and it kind of reminded me of the Josie Maran, but let's try it again, because I think I tried it when I was reapplying. Quarter teaspoon. So if you have not been here before, quarter teaspoon is how much you need for your face. And I do it for my face and neck. And I usually do a little bit heaping. So there you go. That should do it. It's white and in the hand. And I'm just doing it this way so you can get an idea of really how much sunscreen you need. And that's how much sunscreen you need, especially if you're going to do something like a 30, which isn't a lot. This would be something I would use for if you're working in an office and it's something to drive to work from, and you know, UV rays penetrate glass, so if you have windows in your office, and some lights actually have UV, so it's for that. It's not something I would use for, I'm going to be outside in the garden. It feels really nice. So the Josie Maran has a thickness to it where you kind of have to pull and stretch a little bit. I don't have a problem with it, but it's not something I use under makeup very often. I did the other day, but that's just because I decided I was going to take Lucy out and I didn't want to do my skincare and then get sweaty and wash it all off. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to throw on the Josie Maran. And then as it happened, I needed to do some errands because my power was out for 4 days and I needed to get some things. And so I just put foundation over it, but it had been on for quite some time and it wasn't bad. But I have found when I put it over my skincare products, it's too much. And this kind of looks like the Josie Maran as well, so there's a white cast for sure. There's no scent to it, and I have to say one thing I really like about the Josie Maran, it has a really nice scent, and then the rest, I'm going to just work it in. I'm getting some under my eyes. I forgot to put on my eye cream. I just bought some new eye creams at the sale, so I couldn't do my online order because the power went out at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon the day the sale started, and I was just waiting for 12:01. And the rumor was it'll be back up at 8:30. And I thought, yeah, I don't think so. And someone else said, no, they heard it was 12 o'clock. So I stayed up until 10. You know, when there's nothing to do, you can't read, you can't watch movies, you can't be online. You go to bed early. And I had a feeling, and I was right. So that happened on Thursday. Today is Sunday. The power came back last night at like 2:30 in the morning. But yeah, it's been fun. So the whiteness is kind of fading, as you can see. Always a good thing. I want to give it maybe 5 minutes. And then we're going to go in with the Reboot, which is the foundation that I've used for all of my sunscreens Saturdays. So I think we should just stay with that. Be back in a flash. Reboot. Boop, boop. It's been forever since I've used this. I've been doing so many foundation videos. And as you can see, the whiteness has faded a little bit, but on my computer, which serves as my monitor, it seems there's a coolness, a little iciness going on. But looking in the mirror, not so much. So that probably means there still is some that if I went into another room, I would see it. And I think I put on a little too much foundation, so let's just get this in. I had exfoliated really well today. In fact, the reason I'm doing this video is I shaved my face today, which is a brilliant way to exfoliate, but I didn't want to use a chemical sunscreen after doing something like that. And for me, that's when the minerals come in handy. If my skin is sensitive from something I've done, or from sunburn, or from windburn, or from shaving, or microneedling. Those are the times when I really want to do a mineral sunscreen. So there's nothing feeling odd, but The foundation doesn't look fantastic, so this is going to take around the nose, which is always the case. It's just going to take a little bit of finessing. And I only waited a few minutes, so if you waited maybe another 5 minutes, if you waited maybe 10 or 15 minutes, you might have a slightly different experience. All right, not bad. Again, it does feel, you know, like it should have set a little bit better. So I am going to turn off the camera and give it at least 10 minutes, and we'll see if it has changed what it feels like, because it feels wet. Back in a flash. All right, you guys, it's been 10 minutes, and I'm sorry, it's kind of cloudy-ish today. So it feels drier, but because of this formula, it's very, very similar to the Josie Maran. It's zinc in squalane, which is kind of an oil, but not really. It's a very confusing little item. I thought we'd do a cream bronzer, and I'm going to try to do this with the brush because this is pretty dark for me, and I feel like I can have more control. I can see what I'm doing with the brush. This is the NARS. It was just available at Nordstrom's, but I think it might be available at Sephora now because the eyeshadow palette, Summer Solstice, was also an exclusive, I think, to Nordstrom's, but then I saw it at Saks. I don't know. I think it is at Sephora. So I took some off on my hand, and I just used the lightest touch. Look at all that creasing on my lid. Okay, I don't see any streak marks. And I don't feel that the foundation has been lifted, but I could be wrong, because now it's cloudy. And let's dip a little bit more in. This time, let's go in with a beauty blender. Pick some up. Look how dark. So dark for me. And this is Laguna. And I'm taking, look how much I'm taking off. Top of the cheekbones. Top of the morning to ya. And right through this bone, the orbital bone, because they're all kind of connected. And I believe, you know, when you get color, it's those high points. High point here, high point here. It's kind of like a figure 8. I just feel like, I don't know, for some reason, I like using a brush with this product a little bit better. A little bit more. As far as issues with the sunscreen, I would say there's none. There. Doesn't so bad. So that worked fine too. Now powder, I'm a little afraid of. I kind of don't want to get my brush messed up because I think I wouldn't do powder on this. I just wouldn't. I think you're going to get some transfer. Your brush is not only going to get dirty with this oil, but it's probably going to pick up your foundation. So if you're not okay with this kind of shine, probably not. But you know what, you guys, I don't think this shine is any egregiously more than anything else that I wear, whether it's oil-based or not. So where with the Josie Maran, I kind of feel like I'm so shiny, you could actually apply your makeup on the reflection on my forehead. This one, shiny, yeah, but not quite that shiny. So I like it. I think in my wardrobe, there's a place for it. Again, after I've microneedled, after I've shaved, if I have something going on where windburn or exposed to the sun a little bit much, like just on the precipice of having a sunburn, that kind of a thing, then this is something I would pull out. And it does feel lighter on the skin than the Josie Maran. So while the Josie Maran I wouldn't put makeup on top of, this one I would without a problem. And the Josie Maran feels thicker, although this one probably looks thicker. Let's go get the Josie Maran. Okay, Josie Maran, bump, and it's moving. So it feels like, oh yeah, this is for sure thinner. A little bit of this one, and that doesn't move. But for some reason, this one feels lighter when I blend it in than this one. I can't really put my finger on it, but there's a thickness to this. I love the way this smells. One not better or worse than the other, but I think for under makeup, well actually, the Josie Maran has a higher SPF. That has, I think, a 47. Yeah, this is a 47 and this is a 30, so there's a lot more sunscreen in the Josie Maran. And gee, mixed together, they feel so nice and luscious. If you are super dry, I think you'll totally like this. If you're oily though, squalane is not a bad thing for you. In fact, squalane is what our skin naturally produces. And if you put squalane on an oily face, your face is going to say, your skin is going to say, oh, we have some oil here. We're not going to produce any more. Yay, you can kind of trick your skin. Whereas if you strip oily skin, your face is saying, OMG, it's so dry, produce more oil. So actually, I think this might be good for any skin type. I do recognize if you have oily skin, you have an aversion to anything oily, thinking that it will make you oilier. And also, even if you know in your head, I know this won't make me oilier and it'll probably help balance me out, just the feeling of something oily makes you uncomfortable because your oily skin bothers you. Chances are, I've never met a person with oily skin. I love my oily skin. Matt, you guys, is going to wrap up today's video. Thumbs up from me. I see a place in my wardrobe for it. It's a little bit more expensive. I did get it at Sephora, but you know, I'm trying to broaden the horizon. I always try to do medium price, drugstore price, the Asians, you know, try to get it all in. The only thing I really don't want to touch that much are stupid expensive. So if it's $60, I'm probably not going to touch it. And that is it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe, be smart, and I'm wishing you good health.